Hello everyone, welcome to Winged Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've all stopped by my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do our 5th set of alternatives for the September 2025 paper pumpkin kit called Fall for Toile. And here are the 9 cards that you could have made had you done them as intended. But we're going to change things up a little bit and we're going to do alternatives. So let's get started. Let's do an easy one first, because once again, we all need an easy button, right? So, we're going to start with a card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, so at our normal place where we score, and then again at 2 1/8. So, just kind of taking the front flap and folding it back on itself, so that we have this action going on. And normally we might do it like this, but today we're going to turn it and we're going to do it like this. So I'm going to burnish this again. I'm trying to get this to lay as flat as I can, and it will begin to lay flatter the more that you work with it. Okay, we're going to take one of these punch outs that was in the kit of this little cornfield here, and we're going to put that on the front because we're going to let this do the majority of our work. So this is a really easy card. I've got a piece of vanilla for the inside that's 5 by 4 1/4. A little set of pumpkins we're going to put down here. And we're going to stamp a sentiment on this and then back that in some gold. So let's get started. Let's get our little pumpkin things down first. Our little pumpkin patch. I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue here on the back of our 3 pumpkins, and I'm just going to put this right down here at the bottom. So something just like that. Okay, now next thing we're going to do is we need to do our stamping. We'll do that in just a second. I'm going to take this, and so the way this is going to work is I'm going to lay this flat and still kind of center this on the card base. So if I do that, I can put glue on just about the upper half of this corn scene here. So I'm just going to leave my finger right here so I kind of know not to go below that. And we'll go ahead and get this centered back now on here. So just about like that. Now we're just going to make sure, we're just going to peek and make sure we don't have any glue. So it looks like we're good. Okay. So we're going to put that to the side. Let's do our stamping. We're going to stamp in Early Espresso. And I'm going to put on this little banner piece, so this came in the kit as well. We're going to do Warm Wishes. And the Warm Wishes is coming from the stamp set that was in the kit. So we're going to do Warm Wishes, and on the inside, wishing you the happiest of days. So let's get this inked up and hope that I can keep my fingers out of the ink pad, because you know how I am. So I'm going to line this up on the glass mat here so I can hope to start with it straight. It's never, no promises though, as my oldest would say, that I can get it down straight, but we're going to try. Okay, good. That looks pretty good. Okay, now on the inside, I'm going to put this, wishing you the happiest of days, and we're going to put it this way so that it'll go into our card in the right direction. So let's see if we can get this lined up here. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put the ink away for now. We'll get that back out with our second card. Now, so I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put this down flat on my gold piece, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do here. So we're going to just put this right here so that it leaves a border around it on all sides. See if we can get that on there pretty straight. Okay, that doesn't look bad. Now, I'm going to take my scissors. And I'm just going to cut this off, maybe, say, right here. And then I'm going to banner this as well. So we're going to cut up the center here, something like this. And then we'll go corner to the middle, and corner to the middle, and there we go. Now we have a banner piece of gold behind our one that came in the kit. Okay, so I think we will pop this up, give this a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to get some dimensionals out here, and we'll just get some of those put down. And get our, let's see, where's my take your pick tool? Here it is. Okay, I'm going to use that to get our backs off here. This is a wonderful tool to use to do that if you're like me and you don't have fingernails. So, because sometimes they're hard to get off. Okay, so we're just going to put this just kind of right up here in this upper right hand corner, so just like that. Okay, let's get this on the inside, and we'll just need some gems and we'll be done. Okay, so let's get glue on here, and we're gonna open this up. I'm just gonna center this on here, just like, maybe scoot it over to the left just a little. That looks pretty good. Uh-oh. It stays on ink flying at me. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now, the gems that I picked out are some old ones. They are neutral adhesive back sequins, but I thought the color scheme went very well with this set. So I think we're going to use the gold ones on this card. So let's get a big one. And let's see, where should we? Alright, we'll do one up here. And we'll do a medium-sized one here. And a little tiny one over here. And there is that. Okay, I said easy button because this one was really easy. It's very nice when you've got these scenes that basically do all the work for you. So there's our first card. Now let's move on to our second one. So this one's going to do a little bit more stamping on this one. So I've got card base of crumb cake that is 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at 4 1/4 and give it a good burnish. Okay, I've got piece of vanilla for the inside. So this is the 5 by 4 1/4 piece. I've got another piece of vanilla that we're going to put on the outside as our first layer, but we're going to stamp on it first. And then, well, actually, it's going to go on our piece of early espresso here, and then this is going to be put like this, but we do have to stamp. This little circle came in the kit, this little leaf collection here, our foiled leaf. So we're going to use all 3 of those pieces on the front. We are going to use Cajun Craze ink on this one. So let's do our stamping first. So I'm going to get these 2 pieces out of the way. This one, this is our inside, this is our outside. On the outside, we're just going to take this little leaf that came in the stamp set. So let's see, it's this one right here. And we're just going to stamp randomly on our little piece of vanilla cardstock. I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper here so that I can stamp off the edges and not make a mess on my glass mat. So let's just, it's just random. So wherever you, wherever you want. That one didn't go so good. Let's turn that over and try again. Let's just wait on that piece of paper. It kind of makes it a little bulky. So I'll wait until I'm ready to actually go off the edge here. So this stamp is little, so you kind of have to give it just kind of the right amount of pressure. And yet, it can be distorted if you give too much pressure. But if you don't have not enough, then you end up with half stamps. So there's an art to it. You just kind of got to practice. And as you can see, I'm still not wonderful at it, so it's okay. It's homemade, right? Nobody expects perfection. And we shouldn't expect perfection out of ourselves either, because you're always going to fail if you do. You need to just give it your best and say, hey, that was my best, and that's just the best it's going to be. So, okay, I'm just going to rotate this around here. Kind of going off the edges every so often makes it look more like it was, you know, meant to be. If you got a pattern piece of paper, it would be the same way. It would be off the edge of the paper because that's what makes it look natural. Now, we don't have to worry about too much putting in the middle. You kind of ignore the middle because we're not going to, our leaves are going to cover up the middle piece. So, just kind of do around here. I'm going to turn this upside down now and do some down here at the bottom, like this. And we'll get some up here. And maybe, let's see, let's do one more here. And one maybe right here. And I think one right there. Eventually I'm going to have it all filled in, right? Even though I told you we didn't need to. We're going to stop there, okay? Now, for the inside, let's see. It's going to go this way because our card's going to go vertical. So I need to make sure I keep this vertical so I don't forget. I've also got a piece of ribbon here that I cut off. There was, this is like pecan pie, I think is the color. Or no, maybe it's crumb cake. It looks more crumb cake. We're going to use that too. But let's do our stamping on here. So on this tiny little circle, there wasn't a stamp in this current set that was tiny enough to stamp on that little tiny circle. So I reached back into, I'm just going to clean this stamp real quick. I reached back into last month's stamp set, and from the farmhouse floral set that we had, and I got the little tiny the tiny little one that says, let's see what, for a great friend. So I think that'll fit right here on that. Now I need this block, so let's clean this block off real good. Now I'm going to line this up on my glass mat to try to make sure that I'm starting with it straight. We'll ink this up. Now let's see if I can make this fit on here. Just something, hopefully, like that. Perfect. Okay, so that's going to go on our outside. On the inside, we're going to do, okay, here's a stamp. It says, you make a difference. Okay? Does anybody else have this problem? I have like this random pile of stamps on my desk here that I keep because I didn't put this one away the last time I used it, and I have no idea where it goes. So I just kind of keep a pile, and eventually when I'm going to look for other things, I figure out where it goes. But it was just laying on my desk, so we're going to use it. So let's get this on here. And that does not look straight to me at all. And it's not. So let's flip that over and try that again. I need to go a little more up on the left-hand side, I think. So let's try that. Looks a lot better. Okay. I can live with that. It's not perfect, but I can live with it. Okay. Let's get the ink out of the way. Let's go ahead and get this card together. So we're going to put this on the inside. I wonder which one is better. I don't know. I guess this one's a lot crookeder. So we're going to put this one down. And we're going to put this centered up in here. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to build up our front piece. So, the way this is going to work, we're going to put this on here. And then we're going to put this piece wrapped around both of them. So let me get this piece glued down. So I'm going to open this up. Oh no, that's not a card. Okay, never mind. Forgot what I was doing. We're just going to center this on here. I was thinking that was the card base, but it's not. Okay, so we'll get that down there like that. Okay, this piece is going to go right across the middle. So I'm going to get some tear and tape. Possibly, if I can find mine. Here it is. And I'm going to take about, not that piece, hang on, get that off my finger, maybe. Okay, I'm going to tear off like 4 pieces here, because that's what we're going to need. Oh my goodness, it keeps sticking to my finger. It's not supposed to do that. Okay. I've never had it do that before, that's so funny. Okay, that one stuck to my finger too. I think my finger is sticky. Must be have glue on it. Okay, so now we've got our 4 pieces. And we'll put that to the side. Now, I'm going to take this. And we're going to just kind of center this in the middle here. Okay. Just kind of like that. And I'm going to flip this over. Take one piece of tear and tape and put here. Another piece here. We will take the backs off of these. You burnish them good with your finger or the bone folder. It'll help to make the bottom of it stick so you can get the top off. I'm just going to fold that over. Take that one off. Fold it over. Get that to stick. Let's check it and make sure we're straight. Looks like we're pretty good. Okay, now, next thing. I'm going to trim some of this excess off because we don't need all this back here just bulking this up. So we're just going to trim our ends just like that. Now, I'm going to take my other 2 pieces of tear tape that I pulled off and we're going to reinforce this over the top. Just like that. Now, again, I'm going to take the backs off so we can use that as part of the adhesive then that adheres this to our next layer. So, oops, come on, there we go. All right, now, in order to center this, lay this out like that. We need to put some glue on the rest of it. And we will get that centered up right here in the middle. I think that's upside down than the way I wanted it to be. So let's flip it upside down. Just like that. Okay. I got some glue. Just gonna get that off there. Okay. Let's see. Let's that just a hair there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, I'm just going to put some more glue down here in this corner because I can tell I didn't get enough down here and I don't want that coming up. So, there's that. Okay, now, let's finish. We've got leaves that we're going to put here in the middle. Before we do though, I'm going to take a little glue dot. I'm just going to take my Take Your Pick tool and roll this glue dot off of here. And I'm going to just stick it here in the middle to kind of help keep this ribbon from moving around on us. So just like that. That'll keep that down. Now, we're going to pop these up on some dimensionals. So let's get these on some of those. Okay, let's see. One more I think we can do. I don't want this to droop on that side. So let's get our backs off here. Okay, now I'm going to put this, let's see, I think I like it like this. So we're going to put it like that. Then this is going to go tucked in. Maybe we'll tuck this one in down here, if we can. I may not have left myself much room to do some tucking. All right, we can get it in up here. All right, let's put some glue on it, and we'll just slide it in right up here in this corner, and we'll just get that like that. Okay, and then this we're gonna put in the middle there, and we'll just keep this flat because I think we have enough dimension on this card with the dimensionals, and this ribbon here is kind of a thicker ribbon, so it kind of gives it some dimension there too. So we'll just put that right in the middle. Last thing, we need some bling, and we're going to use these same ones that we used just a minute ago, the neutral adhesive backed sequins, but for this one I think we will use the, what do we think? Let's do the brown ones here. Let's see, we'll put one there, and another one here, maybe there. There we go. Perfect. And there is our cute little fall card. Okay, so here are both that we made today. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. We've got Template Tuesday coming tomorrow, and Christmas Card Corner on Wednesday, and Unfold Friday on Friday. So I hope to see you back on Tuesday. Have a crafty evening. Bye.